Hello student, now we are going to study geography paper second, that is GG 102 physical geography atmosphere. During the last lecture we have studied introduction to atmosphere, including definition of atmosphere. Now we have to study about meaning and definition of climate and weather. हवा आणि हवामान. वेदर म्हणजे हवा आणि क्लायमेट म्हणजे हवामान. Meaning of weather. Weather refers to the sum total of the atmospheric conditions in terms of temperature, pressure, cloudiness, moisture, precipitation, visibility of a particular place at any given time. Definition of weather. Weather can be defined as the condition of the atmosphere at a certain time or for a short period. Now, the meaning of climate. Climate represents a composite of day-to-day weather conditions and of the atmospheric elements within a specific area over a long period of time. Climate is defined as the average weather conditions of a place or a region throughout the season. In short, weather is a temporary condition of atmosphere while climate is a permanent condition of atmosphere. Temperature, pressure, wind, humidity, precipitation, cloudiness, etc. are the elements of weather and climate. The C part is composition of atmosphere. The atmosphere is made up of three elements. These are the gases, water vapor, and dust particles. First one is the gases. The atmosphere is broadly known as gaseous form. The atmosphere composed of gases as nitrogen. The percentage by volume of nitrogen is 78.08%. Then oxygen 20.94%, argon 0.93%, carbon dioxide 0.03%, then neon, helium, ozone, hydrogen, helium, methane, krypton, xenon. All these gases are having percentage by volume is about 0.2%. The nitrogen 78% and oxygen 21% are the chief components of the total gaseous composition of atmosphere. The remaining 1% is represented by other gases like argon, CO2, neon, helium, hydrogen, methane, etc. Nitrogen makes more than 78% of the volume of atmosphere. It is important gas for living organisms because It serves to dilute oxygen, results growth of plants. Oxygen is the most important gas because it is essential for the survival of living beings and also essential for combustion of burning matter. Carbon dioxide is absent beyond the height of about 80 km in the atmosphere. CO2 is used by green plants for photosynthesis. It absorbs most of the radiant energy from the sun and re-radiates it back to the Earth's surface. Thus, CO2 increases the temperature of the lower atmosphere and the Earth's surface. CO2 is produced through different agents and being continuously added to the air. Ozone absorbs UV rays, means ultraviolet rays radiated from the sun, and thus prevent the earth from becoming too hot. Next element is water vapor. The vapor content in the atmosphere is up to 5% by volume. It is a highly variable element of atmosphere. Water vapor is added in the atmosphere by process of evaporation. The proportion of water vapor in the atmosphere varies from place to place and season to season. Here we have discussed that water vapor is a highly variable element of atmosphere and it is added in the atmosphere by process of evaporation. It is highly variable because the availability of water surfaces throughout the Earth's surface is not even for the process of evaporation. The process of evaporation is closely related with temperature. That is, higher the temperature, the rate of evaporation is high, as well as the process is related with availability of water, and hence the proportion of water vapor is greater at coastal areas. The vapor supplies to the atmosphere through the evaporation that occurs from water surfaces, swampy areas म्हणजे दलदल युक्त क्षेत्र, and from the transpiration from the plants. More than 90% of the total atmospheric vapor is found up to the height of 5 kilometers in the atmosphere. It is invisible at the time of evaporation, but appears after completion of this process in the form of clouds, fog म्हणजे धुकं, dew दवबिंदू, rain, etc. It is an important element for the following reasons. The heat from the Earth's surface is transferred to the air through the water vapor. This is known as latent heat. The formation of clouds takes place only due to the existence of water vapor. The atmospheric phenomenon म्हणजे वातावरणीय घटना जसे लाईक precipitation वृष्टी, frost, dew, rain, etc. depends on presence of water vapor. Then another element of atmosphere is dust particles. The solid particles in the atmosphere include dust particles, salt particles, pollen, smoke, volcanic ashes, etc. ज्वालामुखी राख वगैरह. Most of these particles hold in suspension in the atmosphere. The proportion of dust particles varies from place to place. Dust particles are of two types. These are organic dust particles and inorganic dust particles. Now, about the organic dust particles. Organic dust particles include microscopic seeds of plants, pollen grains of flowers, bacteria, etc. Inorganic dust particles. These particles are more in the atmosphere. The weathered particles are transported from one place to another. Here, weathered particles. Uh, Due to weathering of rocks, the material is liberated from the main mass of the rock, and this material transport from one place to another, and fine particles float in the air in the form of suspension. The proportion of dust particles is a variable. For example, when volcanic ash is thrown out from the volcanic vent, जेव्हा ज्वालामुखी राख ज्वालामुखीच्या मुखाद्वारे पाईपाद्वारे बाहेर फेकली जाते, इट मिक्सेस इन द ॲटमॉस्फिअर, वातावरणामध्ये ती मिक्स होते. फॅक्टरी चिमनेस continuous pour out dust particles, so they are found in large numbers in the industrial areas. Dust particles are important because of following reasons. काही कारणांसाठी खूप महत्वाचे आहेत. The deflection of a sunrise beam is only due to existence of dust particles, and hence diffusion of light takes place. Another importance of dust particle is the sky appears blue. Then the process of condensation takes place is also due to the existence of dust particles. Appearance of red color of the sun during the sunrise and sunset, it is because of dust particles. Next will be continued. Thank you.